Okay, welcome back to Lecture 2 for Chapter 12, the Design of the Tax System in Microeconomics. I went ahead and loaded a few things on the board just to speed things up a little bit, but working straight out of Section 2 into 3, mostly 3 in Chapter 12 here. Two things we need, or several things, three things we need to talk about here. First is the benefits versus the ability to pay principle. Then we need to look at vertical equity versus horizontal equity issues in taxation, and then compare three different types of taxes, which are proportional taxes, regressive taxes, and progressive taxes. We covered marginal tax rate, average tax rate pretty extensively in the last lecture, where we went through two examples of a progressive income tax in the United States. This should be a little bit shorter video, I hope, but to kind of set the stage as to why are we doing this? Well, you know, why learn anything? Number one, so you can be a better citizen voter. You can understand that, stuff isn't free. The only form of income for a government is taxes. So it's how you go about designing that tax system that speaks towards the efficiency, which taxes aren't all that efficient, but the equity of the tax system. You're like, Kiesler, I'm never going to design a tax system. The biggest local government in many cases is the local school district, and they design property taxes like you would not believe. And I guarantee you, someone within earshot of this lecture right now, that's watching right now at the exact same time you're watching, is going to end up on a school board. So you actually will be in charge of a tax. So time to learn. All right. Can we do a meme real quick? Wouldn't have to learn this if there were no taxes. Okay. Was that artist ego? I can't remember. You know what I'm trying to do. That thing from the internet, Facebook. Check me on the gram at Jonathanomics. Let's get into it so we can get on with our lives. Let's talk about, I'm going to define what the benefits principle is and what the ability to pay principle is, and then we'll kind of compare and contrast. The benefits principle is the idea that people should pay taxes based on the benefits they receive from the government. That also, it's not just like, hey, I get stuff from the government. No, it's the government's kind of like the referee in the game. They're on the court. Let's say they claim to have created the court, and you earn money off the court. You earn money in the economy. The government sees you as being successful on their back. Fair or not, if you benefit more from the economy, people see you as needing to maybe pay more because of the benefits principle. It's just drive me crazy as a libertarian, but you're not here for that. Ability to pay principle, the idea that taxes should be levied on a person according to how well that person can shoulder the burden. So for example, 911 services. We all want it. We all need it. Hopefully you don't have to use it. But someone who's earning $12,000 a year versus someone who's earning $120,000 a year, they have a significant different ability to pay for first responders. Statistically speaking, the person earning $12,000 a year is much more likely to use a 911 service than the one earning $120,000. But if you had a heart attack, I don't care what your income is. I hope the ambulance shows up. So people who earn more pay more. That's the ability to pay principle. The benefit principle is, hey, you've really benefited from governments giving you property rights, or let's say you invented something, so you got a patent on it. And that's the government protecting your right to earn money on your gazillion-dollar idea by giving you a patent. You're benefiting from the government. So that's the benefits principle. Both of them kind of work hand in hand. Very, very similar. They overlap a lot. But the ability to pay really depends on how much income you earn. And then the benefits really kind of depends on how much income you earn based on the system that you're in. That's ability to pay and benefits principle. So let's look at vertical equity and horizontal equity. This is a lot of what you see in the political sphere We have candidates from either party going back and forth about, oh, this is not fair, that's not fair. Guess what? Fair is a place where pigs go to get ribbons. Unfair is the existence of pediatric cancer. Everybody else is a bunch of billionaires arguing over what scraps they should throw the rest of us. Hello? Vertical equity is the idea that taxpayers with a greater ability to pay taxes should pay larger amounts. So vertical equity looks at two people and says, hey, I'm earning $50,000, and another person, hey, I'm earning $500,000 a year. The $50,000 person really hopes that the $500,000 person's paying more. They have a higher ability to pay, but the vertical equity issues is when you look at people who are at this level versus people who are at this level. Yeah, burn that cat. He has made a living making you think he's down here, and he's attacking that. He's actually up here. But anyway, it's issues between the person earning this and the person earning this. Okay. Horizontal equity, the idea that taxpayers are with similar abilities to pay should pay the same amount. That one's a little more sticky. So let's say I do a stupendous job of teaching you, and hypothetically I'm earning $100,000, and hypothetically you get out and you're earning $100,000. We're earning the same amount. Should we pay the same amount? That's the question of horizontal equity. Here's the thing though. You're not thinking about deductions when it comes to the tax system here. So let's say you come out of college, you're earning $100,000. Good for you, by the way. And let's say hypothetically I'm earning $100,000. You don't really get an education for the money. I mean, I do all right, but still. Let's just say we're both earning $100,000. Okay. All right. Horizontal equity is comparing you and me. All right. And here's the deal though. Taxable income doesn't necessarily have to stay at $100,000. You're single, I'm married, I get a deduction for that. You're single, not married, no kids, I have two, I get a deduction from that. You count your money, and that's fine, but I read the Bible and I give 10% or more to my church, and we help a few other charities, so I get to deduct that as well. All right. I also have a darn good CPA, so I lower it just a little bit more because they're slick. See what happened there? That's horizontal equity issues. Usually only you have a problem with it, and I'm sitting here saying I'm just smarter than you. I'm married, I get a deduction from that. I got two kids, I get a deduction from that. I give to charities, I give a deduction to that, and I hire a CPA, I give a deduction to that. Just sent my CPA a check for $600. That's right. You're like, wow, CPAs are expensive. Do you think I would have paid the cat if he didn't lower my taxes by significant more than $600? Okay. All right, back to here. Okay, back to here. Horizontal equity issue. We're earning the same amount of money, but I'm way down here because, well, I'm just smarter than you. You're gonna get there though. By the end of this lecture, if you do the reading, watch the video, the one with the PowerPoint, and you do the reading, you do the homework, and you show me you got something on the exam. Guess what? Higher chance that you're gonna get a $100,000 job. Good for you. All right, that's how learning works. So let's talk about 3 different types of taxes. You see them here on the board. Let's make sure you can see them here. I've got 3 income levels: 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. I feel like I'm the weatherman. We got a cold front pushing in from the west. It's awesome. A proportional tax means you hear a guy, Steve Forbes, actually ran for president on this. It's called a flat tax. Proportional tax is flat tax. Everybody pays 25%. That's fair, right? That's fair. Okay. 25% of 50,000 is 12.5. 25% of 100,000 is, of course, 25,000. Of 200,000, 25% is 50,000. So, does it satisfy the benefits principle? Yes. Does it satisfy the ability to pay principle? Yes. It is a proportional tax. Depending on its deductions, it may satisfy horizontal equity. Does it satisfy vertical equity? Person down at 50,000 thinks a person at 200,000 should be paying more. They are. 12,500 versus 50,000. Okay? That makes sense? Sort of, kind of, hopefully. Do the reading, watch the video, it'll make sense. Regressive tax. This is a bugaboo. Regressivity in taxes is not a good thing. Okay? Regressive tax means people who earn more pay less. Okay? So 30%, 25%, 20%. Again, the incomes are 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. So 50,000 person's paying 30%. They're paying 15,000. 25% of 100,000, they're paying 25,000. 20. Excuse me. This is supposed to be 20. No, that's supposed to be 20,000. I'm sorry. I got that wrong in the book. Let me look at my own writing. Yeah, no. That's right. I'm sorry. I had it written backwards there for a second, but now I've got it fixed. Okay. 25%, 30% to 25% to 20%, $100,000, 25% is 25,000, 200,000, 20%, 40,000. Now, this one's a little more sticky, okay? Because you're like, well, the person earning 50 is paying less than the person earning 200. All right, and the person earning 100 is paying more than the person earning 50. So technically, the ability to pay, check, but the benefits principle is a little more murky. What about vertical equity? Think about if you're earning less money. If a higher average tax rate, meaning you spend 30% of your income, all right, on taxes alone, if you earn less money, that hurts, all right? For the person earning more money, it's only 20% of their income. They already have more discretionary income. So there's a valid argument to say, I don't think this is not progressive, it's regressive. Another example of a regressive tax that you have to be very careful for, back when I was your age in college, I thought we should abolish the income tax completely. Really did. First of all, I think we should abolish all taxes completely anyway. If we get out through this COVID thing, spring 2020 is when we're filming this. If you're watching it later, sorry. Come by my office. I have a few ideas, and maybe we could just do no taxes at all because taxes suck. Anyway, the fact that you have taxes, a sales tax, I thought, oh man, we could just do away. Why don't we just do away with income taxes and just go 100% sales taxes? Why? Well, those are at least voluntary. If I don't want to pay taxes, I just don't buy anything. All right. If I don't pay my income taxes, I end up in federal prison. All right. But here's the thing with regressivity: it really hurts the poor. Okay. So if I did my idea and I went 100% to a sales tax, okay, and just because I earn more money than someone who's living at or below the poverty line doesn't mean that we don't buy different amounts of jugs of milk or loaves of bread, okay, or a car, okay. I buy maybe a jug of milk a week, okay. I don't know, my kids sometimes they get hungry, maybe we do too. Poor person needs a jug of milk a week, okay. So let's say that jug of milk is, X dollars and they pay Y tax on it. That XY, that jug of milk and that Y, that sales tax on it is going to be a higher percentage of the discretionary funds for a poorer person by default. All right. So if you earn, let's use a simpler example. If I earn $200 a week and you earn $100 a week and we both have to spend $10, okay, on milk in a week, okay, if you earn $100, all right, and you spend $10 on milk and I spend $10 on milk, if you earn $100, that milk is 10% of your overall money, okay? But for me, that milk is only 5% of my overall money. But we're still just getting a gallon of milk. So that tax is set up to be regressive. Poor folks pay more of their percent of income on the basic necessities like food and clothes, okay? For people with discretionary income, not just disposable. Disposable is what you have after you pay your bills, and then discretionary is after you pay, disposable is after you pay your taxes. Your discretionary is what you pay after you pay your bills. All right. So you can just say, hey, I'm going to Disney World, or hey, I'm going to save this, or hey, I'm going to, whatever. Buy just Chick-fil-A. Solid plan right now, man. What is up with this quarantine and me wanting Chick-fil-A? I know I can still get it, but it's like, it's hard. poorer folks, the jug of milk is a higher percentage of their overall income than is for the richer folks. So when you lower these percentages as you go up, it's not progressive, it's regressive, and it does affect the poor among the community, which have the lower ability to pay. So regressive taxes fail the ability to pay principle, and it fails the benefits principle in that the people who benefit more are not paying more percentage wise. That leaves a progressive tax, and that's what we looked at a lot with the progressive income tax, looking at the marginal tax rates in the first video. So progressive tax, you see it progresses from 20%, 25% to 30% as we go from $50,000, $100,000 to $200,000 a year. And so the people who earn $50,000 a year pay $10,000. The people who earn $100,000 a year pay $25,000. And see, I'm making myself yawn, so I hope I'm not making you go to sleep. Granted, it's like 10:30 at night for me. 30% on 200,000 is 60,000. So people who earn more benefit more, they pay more. So that satisfies both the benefits principle and the ability to pay principle. So looking at three taxes here, really the only one I think, you know, if you're having to design a tax, the only one not, you know, to immediately take off the in my professional opinion, to take off, get rid of regressive, okay? Because if you're going to have to go taxes, you're already trying to deal with equity issues, but you're dealing with equity issues by being regressive. It's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. We can talk about the benefits of a marginal progressive tax rate like what we had in the first example, or a flat tax, which has been a hot discussion. This is more about in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s in presidential debates. Those are three different types of taxes. We talk about vertical equity and horizontal equity. Each one of them have issues of horizontal equity is just generally between two people earning $50,000. We went through that example with this, and then the vertical equity is like, say, the people at 50 looking at the people at 200, and that's really a dangerous game. And you have to be very careful when people try to pit you off against other income levels. It's a zero-sum game for you alone, because generally speaking, you have billionaires and millionaires arguing over thousands. I don't know. Before I get rambling on a political rant, I know my micro misses that, but hello. We will see you in the next chapter. Let me know if you have any questions. Send me an email, whatnot. Take care.